Yeah, Asheville High, I've been here for 8 years, and there's a lot of diversity. Offer lots of AP classes, which makes it an academically interesting place. And Salisbury was a town just above me, just to the north. And I do know that the stones, the rock in the beautiful main building that we have of Asheville High was brought up on a train in the 1920s, I believe 1927, it was first built, from the Salisbury area. There's a little community called Granite Quarry, and it's this huge rock quarry. And the rock was brought up on a train. I believe they also used some possibly for Grove Park, could be mistaken, but also First Baptist Church. So there's a lot of similarities in architecture from that time period in Asheville, and Asheville High happens to be one of the historical places. If you notice the tower we have, it has a relationship to the 8-sided dome at the First Baptist Church in downtown Asheville. And also the city building, where City Hall is, octagonal tower or roof. So there's kind of a relationship between those three things and the stonework that was brought up in the 1920s. So Art Deco style, and that tends to fit in with a lot of Asheville that was preserved and not restored or not revitalized, which makes this a unique town.
Asheville City Schools is over 100 years of age, and there have been 5 different Asheville High locations. The current one, for a period of time, was called the Lee Edwards High School. However, at the same time, you can look over here, and this is the Catholic Hill School, which was an original school for the African American population of Asheville, which at that time in history was segregated. There was a very bad fire in 1917, and 6 students were killed, and that building was condemned. We then moved to what's called Castle on the Hill, Stephen Lee High School. And Stevens Lee High School was around for a number of years, and then it was demolished. And what's left of that today is the gymnasium, which serves as a community center. Then, for a very brief period of time, the African American high school was at South French Broad, which is now the Asheville Middle School. And then briefly after that short duration was the integration of Lee Edwards High School, which again in late 60s and early 70s became an integrated school that is renamed to the original name of Asheville High School that serves us today. Asheville High has been a school in existence through World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Iraq War, and Afghanistan War, as well as the war that never happened in a sense, but it was the Cold War. And the Cold War occurred right after World War II, and it was an escalation between the West and the communism. During that time period, we were worried about being bombed, nuclear bombs and atomic bombs in this country. And so a number of public buildings were declared to be fallout shelters. The Asheville High was designated as one of those. So what you're looking at is the sign here from the Cold War time period that shows you the fallout shelter location, which would have been the first floor of the main building. And then you also see in here, for radiological monitoring, we have some Geiger counters to let people know when it was safe to come back outside of the school and re-enter life as normal as possible during the height of the Cold War. The top image is from the 1927-28 construction of Asheville High, and then the name was changed in 35 to 69. A metal sign was placed in 69 to cover up the Lee Edwards, and then in 1999 we had the Lee Edwards sign removed, the stonework removed. You can see a sample of that stone right there in the corner. And then recycling, we took old marble from the bathroom stalls that had been widened for handicap access, saved those marble stall pieces of stone, and had those made into a sign that you see today in front of the school. Up top there is the sign that you saw again that served us for 30 years on top of Asheville High School, the metal sign right there, which is now part of our Alumni Center. This is from 1973. The architects, again, Wigman and Hall, designed and proposed the new sports arena for Asheville High School to replace the 2 existing gyms in the old complex from 1927-28. This was, again, a product of a huge population increase, one, the time period, and 2, the integrations of Stevens Lee and Lee Edwards together gave us a larger population to serve at Asheville High School. So this is our varsity gym as we refer to it today. and named after W.P. Griffin, who was a superintendent for Asheville City Schools. Just a few of the football, basketball, and other trophies over the years from Stevens Lee and Asheville High School and Lee Edwards. You're just seeing a small sampling here. This is the 1962 4A basketball championship from Stevens Lee and the 1942 football championship right here. You also have some other trophies on display in other parts of the room for debate, clogging, square dance teams, etc. We have a fine tradition at Asheville High, and these are just a small sampling of some of the trophies we're in the process of restoring right now for display purposes. We're also trying to find as many old pieces of memorabilia and nostalgia from Stevens Lee, Lee Edwards, and Asheville High School to put on permanent display and here in storage at Asheville High's Alumni Center. Awards given by the community from WLOS, and you'll also see some of the awards over here from the national level, from the Kennedy Center, and also from the North Carolina Governor's Office, certificates and awards given to Asheville High School. The Alumni Center is in the process now of facilitating reunions. So in the summer and the fall, during that typical time of class reunions, we open up the Alumni Center and give tours of campus for former graduates from Asheville High, Lee Edwards, and Stevens Lee. You'll see a small sampling of different classes up here, classes as far back in this case of 1955, 56, class of 74, 84, 89. And this year, October 9th, 2009, we're having the 10th and 20th reunions here at Asheville High School in October as we have our homecoming game against Inca High School.